I'm a Moravian. This is one of our early depiction of one of our Moravian churches in St. Croix. We also, and George was very instrumental in doing this. We're very fortunate that in addition to having the buildings, the mills, some great ecological treasures in St. Croix, we also have a history that is digitalized, that we can go and trace our ancestry. And I think I've gotten to the African that came over to St. Croix that started my family. I think I have. Georgia and some of the people that are working on this project are helping me, but this is all digitalized for St. Croix. Hopefully we'll be able to do St. Thomas shortly as well. But it's amazing how different families in St. Croix have been able to, one, trace their history with this, but then when they get together, like they got together for this exhibit one day, and everyone set up their tables and found out, well, this table is really related to that table. And so in addition to all of the physical structures, we have this great resource that we can really trace our family histories through. Some more connections to the United States. Bob Johnson will probably be here tomorrow, but this is the cover of one of his books. I think it's St. Croix from 1776, around 1776 is the title of it. But apparently, this is Christensen Harbor. The island there is Hotel on the Key. And apparently, this was one of the first salutes to the early colonies that took place in Christensen Harbor. There's a family name that's connected to St. Croix, Marco. We have a school in Frederiksted called the Marco School. The Marco family was involved in the American Revolution, so I can go to Washington and I said that people from the Virgin Islands have been involved in every conflict that the United States has had. But one of the early Marcos in St. Croix designed what might have been the first flag of the 13 colonies as they came together. And this was the flag that he designed. Of course, as we all know, it evolved from there. But St. Croix was involved in developing the very first flag that the 13 colonies might have used. And then, you know, we're big on food. This is not the best picture perhaps of our food, but in addition to the structures, the people, we also tell the story of the foods that we eat, the sports that we play. Of course, this is cricket. We play more baseball and basketball and volleyball now. But I remember my father and his friends playing cricket at the ballpark in Christensen. Often teams between teams from St. Croix and teams from St. Thomas. It's more of a sport for the rest of the Caribbean, but there's some cricket played there now. Our music, and I know everybody here knows Stanley, and we actually have a little band in Denmark that plays our clubbing music, but our music is a part of telling that story. And then there have been great migrations into the St. Croix and the rest of the Virgin Islands, and this is the whole story of St. Croix we want to tell. Not only the history of St. Croix and the people who have been there generation after generation, but it's a living story. And of course, we've been joined by people from the Eastern Caribbean and Puerto Rico. This is the folkloric ballet of Puerto Rico dancing. We celebrate Puerto Rico VI Friendship Weekend every October. So the Puerto Rican migration has really greatly influenced a lot of St. Croix culture. This picture is meant to depict, this is Trinidad Carnival, so we're meant to depict the people from the rest of the Caribbean that have come to be a part of the St. Croix story. We actually have St. Patrick's Day Parade, which has become a regular institution in St. Croix. A lot of the Americans who moved there have a parade on St. Patrick's Day, and we all participate in it, but that this is just to show that, you know, Americans have come and brought some of their, mainland Americans have come and brought some of their culture and traditions with them. Of course, now that our president's been to Ireland and everything, it's probably going to even be a bigger celebration. Maybe he'll come and be our Grand Marshal next year. And of course, we have our own carnival, but you can see from these costumes, this is St. Croix. No, this is St. Thomas Carnival, sorry. But you can see the influence of Trinidad on our carnival. That's one picture. But I'm sure you would recognize what this is meant to depict in the carnival parade. And you might recognize somebody in this carnival picture. This is St. Croix Festival, the Gentleman of Jones. We have new things developing every day in St. Croix. Of course, agriculture, as you've seen from the other slides and the other presentations, is a major part of St. Croix's history. It's coming back through the Farmers Cooperative in St. Croix. This is another farm, the Virgin Islands Sustainable Farm, and these are some of the children that they have camps with. And some of their slow-down dinners are really fantastic. I don't know if you've ever been to one of them. Most of the things that are grown on the farm, almost all of the food is grown on the farm, and it's a nice relaxing thing if you can get there, because it's way, way, way in the bush in St. Croix. Another picture of the sustainable farms. So we started with this process in 2006. No, we started with it around 2000, because I thought that the National Heritage Area would be a great way for us to preserve what's great about St. Croix, for us to develop a tourism product that did not destroy what was good about St. Croix, and also give our local residents a chance to be a part of the tourism economy. So I introduced the first legislation around 2000. It finally passed in 2006, at the end of 2006, and we began the process in 2007. This is the vision statement that is a part of the study. It has gone through many permutations. For anyone, I know George has been to some of the meetings with us, but St. Croix's authentic, natural, cultural, historic, and scenic features are a celebration of our people, young and old alike, and a testament of our splendor. This is our shared heritage where Crucians past, present, and future represent a colorful kalaloo of our nation, the Caribbean, and the world. And as I said, this is what all of the meetings that we had in Christensen, Mid-Island, and Frederiksted, when people did not come to us, we went to them. We went to Prophet, which is a Puerto Rican community. We went to the Drive-In, which is where a lot of the Eastern Caribbean people tend to meet to reach out. And this is the vision that we've come up with. It can change, but for the study, that's what it is. And these are the study themes that are developed in our national feasibility study. This is the feasibility study. It's also available on the National Park Service website. So early culture, slavery, and emancipation, the 7 flags, the geography and the natural environment, and modern day St. Croix. We've just last month got the approval from the Department of Interior of the study, and we're now preparing to introduce legislation to have St. Croix designated as a National Heritage Area. The legislation is drafted. One of the people who we have, the executive director of the group that will manage it has the draft, and we're getting some input from what we've decided as a community would be the managing entity before we introduce it, but it should be introduced shortly. I'm hoping that we can get it through in this Congress. Very difficult to get anything through in this Congress, but there are some Republican National Heritage Area studies or National Heritage Area designations that are already introduced, and so I'm hoping that because there's some bipartisan interest in that we'll get it done. The National Heritage Area also comes with funding for 10 years. And every National Heritage Area is eligible for up to $1 million a year for 10 years. Most of them get somewhere between $300,000 and $500,000 a year. It depends on what the managing entity applies for. So we're looking forward to having this National Heritage Area to help to develop and preserve some of the areas that George showed you in his slide and really tell the story of a wonderful island to our children and to our visitors and to the rest of the world. So thank you.